Hello there, survivors. It's almost time to jump into Extinction on ARK Survival Ascended. And since we've been spending most of our time on Astraeos recently, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at all the things that I've built along the way. And there's actually quite a lot of builds that we've got on this map, which is very exciting. From very modern tech bases, both normal and ocean, to very cool Viking, medieval, and of course Greek builds. So let's get started and let's take a look at all the best builds that I did on Astraeos so far, because of course there's much more to come on this map. And we're starting off right here at probably one of my favorites, if not the favorites, which is my new Ultimate Tech Base, the Ultimate Tech Base 2.0, a very epic looking modern tech base. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one. The tutorial for this one should hopefully be out by now, and it's just a very nice and big base, which should give you all the room that you need for all the things that you want in ARK. It's got a very large middle section for your dinos, including a behemoth gate to take in your tames. It's got a breeding, hatching, gene trait section, everything dino related on one side, and of course a big crafting hall, storage, your personal bedroom, extra space should you need it, a kitchen, and a greenhouse. So let's take a quick look on the inside of the base. But yes, I am very excited about this one personally. This base was actually a combination of me just looking through like modern villas out of real life on Google, and then of course there's also a little bit of the original Ultimate Tech Base that I did on the island, combining that all using these modern structures, skin of course, for the very modern look and a very cool design. Yeah, it just came out really nice, and I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. This, of course, a very important feature, being able to go inside with big tames. Everything that fits through a behemoth gate should be able to go inside. You should be able to house it quite safely and be able to breed it if you wish. By the way, if you're looking for the base location, I built it right over here. And yeah, this is a base with a lot of place. I don't have currently a lot of dinos on this world, so otherwise I would have filled it up. But there is plenty of space. Yeah, everything fits through the gate. You can go inside, you can park them, you can breed them, whatever you want. And then here over to one of the sides, we've got the main. Besides the modern structure skin custom cosmetics, I've also used a little bit of the factory premium custom cosmetic, which looks quite nice, and just wanted to try it out a little bit, mostly on the structures, etc., and a few little details. But yeah, this is the crafting hall. All the crafting can be done right over here, which is quite exciting. Also plenty of room for even the bigger structures like the replicator and the steam forge. And then we have, of course, plenty more. There's elevators to go up, but of course also the normal stairway, because that's just always convenient and a little bit quicker mostly. Got a little kitchen area out here and a little balcony as well, just to enjoy the views. Maybe play some poker with your tribe mates, and places to get access to the roof in case you, just like me, you parked some flies on the roof, you can still easily reach them. Then over here we've got my living quarters. They're quite empty still. I haven't really played a lot of survival on here recently, so right now plenty of space left to be used. But yeah, we'll get there once we start playing more survival, probably as soon as there's a little bit more in the map again, and we'll start like a proper extra survival playthrough again. But yeah, we got a little greenhouse here as well for all the plants that we want to grow, and of course even more walkways all around. We also have some walkways in here just to kind of to be able to quickly cross to the other side. Also because I wanted to make sure that my generator was right in the middle, that everything here was going to be powered quite easily. And then here to the sides we have two big platforms that I haven't even used yet, but there's plenty of space here to make like a different extra kind of room. So yeah, you shouldn't really run out of any space, because yeah, there is plenty of that going around. Here you can also quickly access the roof. I've got the transmitter there, so we can quickly travel to another world if we need to. And then if we go all the way back down, we'll quickly jump over now. We have, of course, this last room, which is kind of everything dino related. So from hatching the eggs to the gene and trait stuff to cooking some kibbles up here, or just some fridges to keep the eggs, etc. good. It's all visible here. We also have some cryo fridges. Not sure about this skin from the factory set for the cryo fridges, but just wanted to give it a try. And yeah, should have pretty much everything we need, with some room, of course, for dinos to grow up. There's also an exit here if you want to bring them outside if they fit through the small gate. Otherwise, you need to bring them out into the main room just in time for them to be able to still fit through. But yeah, it's quite a nice base. It should really have all the space you'll ever need, and it's definitely very dear to my heart. I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. And if you want to use this base, there is a full step-by-step tutorial available for this right now, or it will be very, very soon, but probably it's already there. Then there is another very modern futuristic tech base here on Astraeos, which was made as a proper ocean base for all your breeding and housing of your ocean tames, as well as including a Shasta dock just in case you have one of those, because of course they don't fit through behemoth gates. And I also really wanted to bring in that biome dome feel with a lot of greenery on top, plants all the way around with JVH landscaping. It is just built out of metal and tech, but I have used some custom cosmetics, mostly the Quantum custom cosmetic skin, which is a premium mod, which has really cool skins, including skins for some of the crafting stations, which I also really, really like, and I appreciate when mods add those as well. But yeah, this is another really cool base. I quite like this one as well. If you like living on the ocean, this is good. So yeah, we have the little Shasta dock over here, which is basically just a place where you can quickly enter, teleport into the base. The reason that I've parked the Shasta in between this and the actual build is because then the turrets will properly protect it if it's parked over here, which is what I did first. It doesn't always get protected that well, and it ends up getting hurt. And that's something we don't want, of course. For the rest, we have a lot of the walkways all the way around, so plenty of space for your flyers, even the bigger flyers, and that should keep all your tames relatively safe. Yeah, I really like the look of this base. I've used some of the steampunk deco mod as well for these vents that actually let off some steam, which are really, really cool. Some of these water reservoirs stacked on top of each other to get these beams on the side, some pipes basically. And yeah, as you can see, plenty of space. I've parked my Rhino here because yeah, they don't like it being parked on ceilings. They always start flying again. But yeah, plenty of space to walk all the way around. And of course, easy access into the dino pen itself for your water tames. A little room down there as well if you are breeding, so you can relax at the bottom of the water without any issues. Another teleporter, of course, to get back into the base. But the main way to actually get into the base is from one of these elevators, which you can quickly access from all of the sides, and those will bring you into the main base. But yeah, any of the teleporters, of course, also work quite nicely, or a flyer onto the balcony will also get you there. And then inside of the main base, you've got basically a whole circle of space for your lounging areas, your storage, your crafting, and I've used all the Quantum custom cosmetic skins for the crafting tables as well to really turn it into the base of the future. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the way all of these structures look. They really give your base a very unique and cool touch. So yeah, if you like this kind of vibe, definitely would recommend this one. And yeah, the cryo fridges of this one are really, really nice as well. Very cool to look at. So yeah, we got a quite cool tech base here. And then of course in the middle we have our proper teleporter. This is where you would enter. This is also where you could park some of your smaller flyers if you want to enter this base. And the tech generator is actually hidden underneath in this case. And then, of course, you can also enjoy a walk around the walkways on the outside. Lots of gardens. These are actually artifact pedestals, so you can keep your artifacts on display on the outside of your base as well. I always kind of like that touch, and it's an easy thing to decorate your base with, of course. And then we have the beautiful garden on top, which just adds a lot of lovely greenery here, which is kind of nice. Being out in the ocean, still bringing that greenery in. Of course, I've used a mod, but even with the plant pots from the Bob Talltales DLC, you could still get a pretty cool green look to a base. It's always good to bring in some greenery, but yeah, this one was also a really fun project to work on. And there is also a full step-by-step tutorial available for this one if you want to build this yourself. And if you're playing Astraeos, this is where I built my ocean base. And of course, maybe the most spectacular project that we worked on Astraeos was this giant Greek city. And now a big disclaimer, this is not something that I built all by myself again. This was built in survival with my crazy tribe mates on my community server. It is technically still a work in progress. We do have more plans to hopefully detail and finish the city. It's just gotten to a point where it's quite big, and especially for people on console, it gets a little bit difficult to play around here. But it is probably one of the more spectacular projects that I've worked on in ARK, as you can see by this crazy scale. So it's a port town. We got some of the ships here. There's actually a few like little ocean pens. So basically this one is an ocean pen with a closed off section, so it's easily protected. We got a little temple here. As you can see, still plenty of space for builds. These were done by my tribe mates. I built this little crafting hall over here, and this is actually also being used as a proper crafting hall, as you can see, like this proper storage set up here. Then this over here was supposed to be a little market stall. Don't mind some of the paint. You can see there's different blue colors. It's because the textures for the clinger rustic roofs changed halfway through, well, more towards the end actually of this project, and then the paint just looked different all of a sudden, and we haven't really gotten around fixing it. Some of this side has tested a new color, which is, as you can see, much closer to the Astraeos texture, which is kind of what we want. So I still need to paint all of the other side of the town. But yeah, we got some builds over here. This is all mostly, this side is all mostly done by my tribe mates, including another crafting hall, some really cool bathhouse, and a temple of tech there in the back as well. Plenty of little houses everywhere, as you can see. And also very important, just a lot of infrastructure to get around the town, of course. All these staircases everywhere, little small streets connecting everything up again. I've got a little house that I did here to fill in the space, as well as this big circle here in the middle for the teleportation. You can see of these towers that I did as well, but they're not painted in the Santorini white, but just as normal ones. But they are quite cool additions to a bigger base like this. Then I built this temple as tributes to one of our members that currently can't really play a lot of ARK. So we got the Temple of Banana here with a lovely little green garden in front. Then over here we actually got the villa, and this is the exact same villa as my medieval villa, but it's just built in the Greek Astraeos skin style, and yeah, it does look quite nice, doesn't it? We've got a little city wall here as well on this side, because there's dangerous stuff spawning in these mountains, gigas. That's why these gigas are protecting us right here as well. Some of these statues are part of the custom cosmetic, the Roman premium custom cosmetic, which has some really cool decoration options. Then I built a few houses over here to kind of fill up this little corner of the city. And then yeah, we got some more builds going on over here. I built like a long stable building right there to fill it up as well. There's again plenty of other cool builds around by all of my tribe mates, including the lovely temple at the top. All these builds on this side, the little garden, and the temple of tech that is still being expanded on. But as I said, currently we kind of took a break from this project. And then the original two temples that started it all right up here at the top. This one was mine, and this one was Wild. Like, there's so many cool builds here. But yeah, this temple is kind of interconnected. So I've got a little garden here and then a little base around this side. So this was like kind of my first base here. And there's a little greenhouse here over on the side as well, which connects back up into the main temple, which has like this little back garden with this little wall around it, with the lovely memorial for Bernard Hill, which is why I wanted to build right here. Very, very cool. We got some of the custom banners that Wild makes, which are amazing, of course. And then this is the main temple where currently, well, there used to be, I don't know if they're still breeding, hopefully not. The owl griffins were breeding, but it's also the temple of the shark, but it's waiting for something very important, which will hopefully be there soon. With extinction, there should be taxidermy again, and I can build some bigger shark statues in my temple. But yeah, we got the two temples right here at the top of the town. You know, it's a really cool view. It really feels, especially walking around, it really feels like you're in a proper city, just by the fact that you can see buildings so far ahead. You've got all these tiny streets, and then here at the end it's kind of the start of the Colosseum. Now, it wasn't really completely finished, again, because we took a little break. Hopefully at some point when performance improves, we can continue this build. But yeah, this was a really epic project to be working on. It was really fun working on this with the whole tribe, and I'm really happy and excited by all the work that we got done, and the fact that we have like a proper city here in ARK to look at and to call our base is pretty epic, I would say. Well, and if you're wondering for the location, it's located right here on the map, and different than all the other builds that I've showed. This one specifically is on the community servers that I run, so this one you could visit, but be warned that it might be hard to run over here. And of course, we also built this little modern house, which is much more suited, maybe, well, starter base is maybe stretching it, but at least like middle ground. You have a little dino pen to the side with a normal gate, so everything that fits through there should be able to fit inside of the build. Yeah, it has a decent amount of space. You could definitely use this base for a long time. The pen part for your dinos might be running out of space quite quickly, but there's plenty of other ways, of course, to kind of combat that. But it is, in my opinion, a really nice little modern looking design. So yeah, we got the little dino pen here where you can have your cryos, your trades, genes, whatever, hatch eggs, everything. There's a little back porch or back balcony as well to enjoy the view or park some of your flyers. And then you can go into the main bit where you have the storage, a lot of the crafting already. You can go up to the second layer for more crafting over here. Even the bigger structures can fit inside here. Lovely little balcony as well. There's actually a bigger balcony slash walkway all the way around this side as well. So yeah, you can just enjoy the views all around your base, which is usually probably something that I really like to do. Another balcony here, space enough, so you could also have some crafting on your balcony if you want to enjoy the view whilst working at your base. And then we got a little bedroom here for respawn. There's some cozy little feelings in here as well, kind of tying it all together. And then there is an access point to this part of the roof, so you could actually park some of your bigger tames here, flyers of course here as well, just so that you have the space, and they should be relatively safe over here then. But yeah, overall just a really fun little smaller modern house design, because usually when I do modern builds they are giant, and this one is a little bit more reasonable and easier to pull off. There is a full build tutorial up for this one as well, and if you're wondering what location it is, it's located right here on the map. Of course, we can't forget about this lovely Viking village that we built during Extra Live. Of course, not all the builds here are my builds, because I did this together with LolsAtLance and Johnny, someone from my community, and we built all of this in a couple of like 4 hours or something that we spent during the live stream. It was a lot of fun. It was actually really nice working on a big project like this live on stream in creative with some other people, because normally, at least when I'm building in creative, it's just me by myself. So this was a really fun project. We got this really cool longhouse here by Lance. I think he based it on his one of his previous designs that he did, but then upgraded it with some of the modded textures, which looks really cool. It's actually also the place where I still have some friends. See, I do have friends. I've proved now. And of course, we have this custom cosmetic still here. So we are reminded of what it was for. I think this was one of the huts that I built using some of the clinger structures, especially the fur structures, which are really nice for these Viking builds. That was another one of mine, I think, with these balconies, enjoying the lovely views around. And then we got the JVH garden deco here as well for these pathways and these lovely flower trees. And then we have one of Lance's huts here. Another one of his huts here as well. Kind of to fill in the village, of course. And then we have some of the fake huts. I think Lance did this one. And then we got a couple of them here along the side. I think I did these. They're more for show and kind of filling up the village because, of course, very limited time. You can see this was around Fear Ascended because apparently these Vikings really enjoy pumpkins. But yeah, we got some more of these fake huts, and then we got a Johnny hut right here looking really cool. And we also have another Johnny build back here as well, right on the edge of this little pond starting the waterfall. Got one of my huts over here. I also did a tutorial for a simple Viking hut like this. If you want to use this as like your starter base, it's definitely a really fun style to build in. Then we got the lovely bridge by Johnny, including also this lovely little hut with a custom water wheel, which is really cool. Yeah, definitely a really nice touch to the build. And then we got the graveyard out here and the stave church that I worked on for most of the stream, which I'm quite happy with. Actually also built a vanilla version of this build for a tutorial. So if you want to use this as a base, and it's quite a big base that you could use, yeah, feel free to, because there's plenty of space on the inside. But overall, this project just really means a lot to me because it was such a fun little collaboration with some other builders all at the same time, and of course for a good cause, for charity. So yeah, and amazing that we managed to do some actually decent building at the same time live, 4 hours going straight back to back. Like this was really fun, and definitely hopefully something that we can do more of in the future. But yeah, really happy with this little village on my world. And if you're looking for this location, it's located right here on Astraeos. And then this build, of course, was all inspired around Halloween, Fear Ascended. I decided to build this little witch's hut in the swamp, especially because the moody filter that is always present here in the swamp is really fitted for this kind of build. Swamp has gotten a little bit more dangerous since there's a lot of Rhino spawning around here now, even in this tiny little swamp. It's located right here for if you're also crazy enough to build something in the swamp. So yeah, this was done building with a lot of custom cosmetics, Halloween custom cosmetics, as well as some architect structures, remastered pieces for those nice steeper roof pieces, which are amazing. And of course the plans and deco from JVH Landscaping as well. But this one really turned out really nice, I think. I love this little cabin. It's like overgrown, it's boarded up and everything. It really fits the vibe in my opinion. And then in the back here we've got that creepy little graveyard using some of the fog, Halloween fog mod or something, with the red fog and the ghosts. Most likely gonna be removing that soon because I don't really need that around all year. But the cabin will stay because the spooky vibes are still really cool, and I really don't mind, you know, visiting this once in a while. The inside there's not much to see. It's very dark, of course, very spooky on purpose. So yeah, you can barely see because all painted black and dark. But yeah, very spooky, creepy to explore. That was kind of the whole goal, of course. But yeah, the atmospheres in this place are definitely on point, and definitely really happy with the way this little creepy cabin turned out. So this medieval villa was actually based on one of the designs that I did in the giant Greek city that I built in survival on my community server together with my tribe. But when I was building it again over here, I wanted to turn it into something only using normal default structures, at least for the build itself. Decorations, of course, don't matter that much. And I made it into something like this. It's a very cool medieval villa, a very big base as well. And I'm working on a tutorial right now. Might be out by the time you see this video, or it will be out shortly after. And yeah, it's just a really nice all-in-one compound that you could use as your base. A lot of painting involved as well. Painting the wooden walls, painting the roofs to get this very unique look. But yeah, I do really like the way this turned out. It's got some nice gateways to keep you safe. These quarters all connected with some built-in stables for the smaller tames. Of course, the central courtyard as well, where you could house some of your flies, etc. And then the main build with a few layers in there and some builds off to the side as well. And you can enter it, of course, right here at the front or from any of the sides, whatever you wish to do. This one is actually with the industrial forge, so yeah, you can actually also have that here. So this would be the drop-off point, I suppose, for your gathering tames. But yeah, we got plenty of space here on the inside in the little courtyard, painted nicely, so you have like a little grassy courtyard. And then this inside here has the stables for your smaller to medium-sized tames that fit underneath these two high roofs. Then you have still more room up here. I don't think I've decorated this a lot, but there is plenty of space here. So yeah, you could definitely utilize a lot of this space should you all need it. And then you got the main build, of course, in here, where we have like the storage hall off to one side, using some of the visual storage mostly for me. And then here on the other side, we've got like a little kitchen going on, very nice and cozy over there. And then, of course, the main hall, we've got some storage and some library things around. And then the next layer, we got some more of that storage and crafting going on. Got a lovely balcony here at the front, of course, where you can just enjoy it all, wait for your things to craft. And then there's more up top, of course. You've got your little bedroom with your cryos, a little lounge area, and of course the bed itself, so you can respawn whenever you need. Yeah, I quite like this style. I really like this base, and that's why I built it again with this design in mind to make a tutorial of it. So hopefully that should be done by the time this video goes out. I do think so, but you know, this is I think a nice villa build, which yeah, is most things self-contained. Of course, bigger tames wouldn't really be able to fit inside, but you know, you can cryo those. You can cryo those to make your life a little bit easier. Oh, and if you're wondering about where I built this, this is the location on the map. And here we go, my giant Roman villa or Greek villa, whatever you wanna name it, that I built here on Astraeos at the lovely river. There's some lovely landscape around right next to the obelisk. And yeah, it's got these lovely gardens out front, including some nice pools of water. It's very similar to the other villa, but this time, of course, being Roman/Greek instead of medieval. And it's slightly bigger, but the ideas are very similar. You got two entrances on the side. You got the main entrance here, although that's a little bit harder to get to with the layout of the gardens in front of it. And then a giant base at the back, which is a little bit bigger here in this size. And because I built it a little bit higher up to get like a big flat area, I also actually have like a wine cellar below, where there's a ton of room on the inside, as you can see. I don't know what that structure is, but there's a ton of room here on the inside, which you could probably use better than just actually putting wine or /beer barrels down here. But you know, it's just for aesthetics. That's of course the advantage if you have to flatten out an area. But yeah, you got these lovely entrances. Of course, the Astraeos structures look amazing. They look really, really nice. And now you could even do something very similar with the Roman custom cosmetics, I think there is. So if you do not have the Astraeos mod, which of course is a proper mod, not just the skin, you could technically build something very similar, I think, using the Roman custom cosmetics, and that you could use on official as well. Yeah, we got a very similar base as the other one we saw, just a little bit more space. So got some lovely little gardens here on the inside, making this look like a very luxurious and nice place to live at. There's plenty of space once again. You've got the stables in here, so there's plenty of room for your tames. Stairs, of course, down into the cellars. More stables on this side as well. And then we also, of course, have the room up top. I don't know if I decorated this, probably not. So this is one of the houses here. And then on the other side, we got the same thing going on. So there is a lot of room here if you needed even more space. This one is nice. I do not have a full tutorial for this. I did build most of this or all of this on stream. So you could use that if you want to build this. But this is very, very big. Lots of structures involved. And the downside for me was that the landscape didn't really want to work with me, so part of this is a little bit overgrown, so I kind of embraced it and made this like a little bit more abandoned and like yeah, well, it's fully taken over by nature. And then the other side here as well, we got the hallway. This actually works. It's just like a nice little garden on the inside, and then we got more space over here. So yeah, this base does have a lot of space on the inside. As you can see, there's plenty of room here for all the things that you would need. Then you have a nice little bedroom here as well, and a lovely little balcony to watch out over the courtyard. But yeah, overall, just a very fun project to work on, doing a Roman/Greek villa like this. It's just really fun, especially this architecture with these amazing skins was a really fun challenge to work on. And if you're looking for the location, well, I did already say it's next to the obelisk, but it's located right here on the map. And then, of course, there's also the starter base that I started with on Astraeos here. We got this little house right over here. We got the little gateway to protect. We actually also have my tames from quite early on. Some of the Santorini-inspired architecture. This little tower/gazebo right here, as well as a little tiny starter house. For all these three builds, except the gate back there, there's tutorials actually how to build these as well. Yeah, just a nice little village kind of feel. And then I wanted to go for something quite big, but this project was eventually abandoned, or at least the rest of the project, because I was already working on a big city with my tribe. Felt kind of double doing the same here. I definitely do think that I will work on more Greek builds in the future, but just spreading them out a little bit more, you know. It's not very fun to build in a one style all the time, the same time. So at some point, I'm sure I'll continue, whether that's in this location or a new location, we will see. But we do have a little workshop temple back here, also a full tutorial for this build up. Yeah, just a nice little stereotypical Greek temple that you would expect, with a little small bit to the side where I've got the workshop here in my case, and then I've got actually the storage inside here, because this was my main base at the survival point. Yeah, I quite like it. I like the area. It's right next to also where I built the big villa. It's all the same place, because I was expecting to be building like a giant city here. I think I even started some kind of like venue to watch the boss fights. I think that was the idea. I started designing something here so that I could build it on my community server, but I never really got around to finishing this. I probably should, and build a nice little arena for next to the obelisk, because of course this is where you start the boss fights as well, so it just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But yeah, for now we got these few little Greek builds around, but the main Greek builds are of course in the giant city I built with my tribe. Yeah, if you missed the location from before for the villa, this is where this is located, right next to the big lady in the sky, next to the obelisk. So it should be quite difficult to not get to this area. Like, just follow her and you should be able to get here. And then my latest addition here to the Astraeos map, that is this Rivendell build. I personally really like this one. Again, another tribe base on my community server, this time going for a medieval theme, everyone building their own house. And I might have gone a little bit big, but honestly, I think this still classifies as a small home, right? And yeah, we got a lovely little house based on Rivendell, the last homely house from the Lord of the Rings, built in this beautiful beautiful autumn biome on Astraeos. It's located right here. It's one of my favorite spots on the map. It's absolutely beautiful here, and I really like the way this turned out. Not only did I spend a lot of time on this build, using a lot of the Architect Structure remastered build pieces. Normally I try to stay as much within the vanilla structures as possible, but for this one I went all out with the Architect remastered structures, which just have a lot more options in them than the default ones, and that was definitely a good choice for a build like this, because you can get some really cool shapes. Of course, there's plenty of plants around from JVH Landscaping as well, including this lovely little gazebo with a nice little garden area, a little bridge to cross the waterfall as well. Yeah, this was a really fun project to work on. So I've got a little dino pen down here for some of my smaller tames, including my new lovely dire wolves. It's just a small one though, only for smaller tames. Then back here I've got an amazing view of the plains ahead, as well as my travel station if I need to transfer to the other maps on the cluster. We got a little garden around as well. This one especially I really like. All the little details, the little corners where you could just hang out, sit, enjoy the view, and just, you know, just relax after a hard day work in ARK. And then we got another little courtyard over here where I could park some tames, because I've got a gate there, so I could relatively safely park them here. It's also where the little meeting for the tribe is located, where everyone has his own color for the chair, and we've got the artifacts around us as well. Then I've built a little crafting room. Not that I'm really using it, because there's a main crafting room, but I needed to fill the space somehow, right? And then we can go upstairs for the main portion of the build. We got some nice little corners to hang out at and just enjoy the views. We could play some poker with our tribe if we wanted to. Then I've got my tech room where I have a fridge and the sleeping pods. So I just made this into a completely tech related build. And yeah, then we got some little lounge areas here as well to enjoy the views of the lovely builds and lovely environment around. The kitchen area, again, nice and chill. And then my main bedroom here for my cryos, etc. And once again, a lovely view over the surrounding area. I do really like this build. I think it turned out pretty nice. The whole village is a really fun project. But yeah, this was a fun build to do. I don't really often do like a 1x1 kind of build. Not that this is necessarily 1x1, but it's definitely heavily inspired by the architecture that we see in the films. Yeah, this was a really fun project, and that was also my latest build here on Astraeos. Definitely not my last. I'm very sure that we will be doing many more builds here on this map, because there's much more to come for the map itself, and it's also just a nice big map with a lot of variations in the landscape already. So for a builder like me, it's definitely a great place to call home. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next video or stream. Goodbye.